When did you and Kevin first meet?
We first met in, I would say, August 2006.
06, in Daniel's basement.
Danny Corner's basement.
Well, I had a regular habit, along with my friends, of just hanging out in Daniel's basement pretty much every day after school. And I guess one day she was there.
But he had a girlfriend when we first met.
Uh-huh.
Dating, and I wasn't interested while he had the girlfriend because we were just friends. I just liked him as a friend. And then I found out that him and his girlfriend broke up, and I was kind of like, oh, that's interesting.
And when was the first date?
In 2007.
He asked me out in the beginning of October and was like, I like you, I want to date you. And I was like, okay, I like you too.
I think we went out to see a movie. It was like a cheesy movie starring The Rock. It was The Game Plan, I think.
We went and saw The Game Plan. About a week or two before he asked me out, we went to a Cubs game. Happened to also be with my dad and my Uncle Duker. My dad, he brought an old scorecard from a game he had gone to in the 80s or something.
But why is it embarrassing?
Oh, because my dad was being embarrassing by being a nerd and pulling out this old scorecard that he had that he found in his garage just to prove himself right.
When was the first kiss?
Right after he asked me out was like my homecoming, and we hung out at his dorm, and so I think we had our first kiss around there somewhere.
It was kind of in her neighborhood. I think we were parked somewhere.
When did it transition into love?
I would say it transitioned pretty fast into love because we had already known each other so well.
And who said I love you first?
He did. I'm pretty sure we were at Mitchell's, and I'm pretty sure it was right after I got in a car accident.
I think we were unfortunately tested with hearing about Tripp's diagnosis, and we got put through a lot. And this was the first time I felt like, I want to stick it through and kind of, make this work.
I moved into his apartment that he was living with two other guys. And then we lived there for 2 years with other people. And then after that, we were like, okay, just the two of us now.
I was living at this big townhouse with 3 other guys. And, she was looking for a place to stay. And we said, why not? I mean, this will be kind of like a trial. This way we have both of our separate rooms, but we can kind of be living together.
And how did he ask you to marry him?
He had this whole thing planned that we were going to go to dinner and then go to the ballet.
I blindfolded her at the top of the stairs one night. We had gone to see Romeo and Juliet at the Joffrey Ballet. So I knew she'd be dressed up and everything.
Yeah, the elevator takes you to the 9th floor. I'll put the blindfold on, then I'll be here, I need to blindfold you first.
What happens if somebody is in the elevator with you and you say, excuse me, I gotta blindfold my girlfriend?
Hopefully we won't run into that situation.
Back to our place, we were going in the elevator, and he pressed the 9th floor, and we then on the 4th floor. And he was like, oh, I have a surprise for you.
I don't think she knew necessarily that I was planning this at the time. I was in school, nursing school at the time, and I don't think she was expecting that since I had a lot on my plate.
Were you fooled?
No, not at all. I was, when we got to the 9th floor and I knew it was happening, I was like, okay, I'm ready. Let's just say yes. I'm ready to say my line. I knew my line. I knew that something was happening when I came home from work and the apartment was really clean.
My original plan was to do it with some sky lanterns, some paper lanterns that we would all put up.
All right, so you have 60 lanterns. How are you going to light them?
I've also bought a crazy number of grill lighters for everybody.
Okay. And you're convinced that we don't need a permit for these lanterns?
I never said those words.
I was ready to, I guess, incite the police, but other people weren't.
So it looks like what we got here is the backup lanterns.
Plan B.
Plan B.
I felt like Louise was going to be there, and I knew my friend Carolyn was in from out of town.
Wound up telling Nina, Louise, Daniel, Carolyn, the whole thing, and it kind of grew from there. I said, I think Ellen would really like it if a lot of people were around.
We went out on the roof, and it was really cold, and he said some really nice things that I don't remember, and I don't think he does either. And then he said, will you be my lobster? And And I said yes.
Got down on one knee, told her how much I loved her, and aside from that, I don't really remember much, except I ended it with a friend's quote, which was, "Will you be my lobster?"
Come on, you guys, it's a known fact that lobsters fall in love and mate for life. And you know what? You can actually see old lobster couples walking around their tank, holding claws.
Phoebe talks about how Ross and Rachel are meant for each other and how they're lobsters. And she's like, lobsters, when they find their partner, their soulmate, they link their claws together. So, when you find your lobster, that's like finding your soulmate, the person you're meant to be